Welcome back to another lesson of Advanced Microsoft Excel. Well, this is a lot about financial finding problems in Microsoft Excel, so I'm going to start off with this now. So this lesson is about calculating discount rate in Microsoft Excel, and later on I'm going to show you also the NPV, or calculating net per value, or per net present value. Okay, so as we're going to start off with the discounting rate, so I'm gonna start off just right now. So first off, even if you have a really big range of data, now what I'm gonna do here is, let's say 100,000. Okay, let's say 100,000. Now I'm gonna do is just copy, use the fill header, and let's make this till here. Now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna find out the present value, okay, with use of discount rate. So how do you find the discount rate? Well, it's a lot like a financial work. Well, if you are in the business section, or if you are doing business, well, this will help you work a lot by using the discount rate. Well, it's gonna find out the rate of money which you have today, and by year what is gonna be the value of that later in the year, according to the year which I've put right here, which is 1 2 3 4, till I have a lot of them. But I'm just gonna stay up till here, okay, and gonna show you how it works. So first off, what you need is a discount rate, then a chart like this, or maybe not, but if you already have a chart, that's also doable. And so you have to maintain year, cash flow, and then PV, which is the present value, return, and the end balance. Well, even if you don't have these, but I'm still going to show you how you can just find out the discounting rate, or calculating the discount rate. Okay, so if you want to find out what your money values in later a year, okay, so first off, what you have to do is just type in equal, and then equal, then what you're going to do is select the cash flow. First off, select the cash flow. Now you have to multiply it. Okay, if you want to multiply it, as there are no multiple signs, what you have to do is just put on the star and then open the parentheses. When you open a parentheses, what you're going to do next is just add 1 plus, and then you're going to add in the discount rate. So this discount rate is how you're gonna find out what's gonna be the value of your money later in a year. So I'm gonna close it again, and then what you have to do is to the power of 1. Okay, let's say power of 1, because even if you don't have the power of 1, it's not gonna work in a way. Okay, why doesn't it work? Because according to, if you are more in a business, like if you studied business, you will see that this works how it does. Okay, and obviously you need you can say the discount rate, and also the power, how you can find out the data or the resultant which you're searching for. Okay, because that is how it works. But if you put like -1, that is also going to show you. Now let's see how it's going to do with 1. Later I'm going to show you -1. So if it's 1, it's going to be like higher, but if you put it -1, so it's going to show you the exact value of it, which is $90,909 in a year. Now if I use the fill header, it's going to do the same thing, but it's not going to like go. But let's say what it does. What I'm going to use the formula, formatting only, my bad. I'm going to use the formula here, fill flash. Okay, it's not working, so I'm going to do it again. So let's say equal, select the cash flow, multiply 1, okay, 1, then into, or 1 plus the discount rate, which is right over here, the discount rate. Okay, and then what you're going to do is close the parentheses, powered by, what you have right here is -1 in a year. Okay, and you can see it's this value. Now in 2 years, I'm going to do the same thing, equal $100,000, then into 1 plus, then this discount rate, which is 10% over here. If you have a different percentage, that is also okay. Now I'm going to do is close the parentheses, now to the power of -2. And now in 2 years, your $100,000 will value 82,644.63 cents. Okay, so this is how you can find out the present value. Okay, if you want to use the present value of it, that is also doable. Okay, but you have to select, okay, like one by one. What you have to do is just do it. But if you can't do it, just use the record macro, and then what you can do is just find out all of the results. Now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna change, okay, let's say the total. Now you're not gonna find out the total, okay, how you're gonna find out the total, but you need a return. So what are you gonna do when you are like finding the return money? So if you want to find out the return money, there is also a different type of step which you can do to find out the result of the return money. But what you have to do first is find out the ending, okay, the ending. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is copy this, control C, and then paste it right over here, and I'm gonna make it a bit bigger so it's visible. So here what I have is the ending balance. So the ending balance is the last one. So what I'm gonna do here is do the same thing which I did, but I'm not gonna use powers anymore because that is different. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just go to return. Now as I've gone to return, go to second one, I prefer that, so I'm gonna do is equal this one. Okay, and now I'm gonna power it, or my bad, I'm gonna like multiply it into the PV or whatever the rate is. Okay, so let's start off with the discount rate, and as it is quite done, I'm gonna just type enter, and that is $10,000 in return. So next what I'm gonna do is find out the ending balance of the third ones or the second ones. So the second one, if you want to find out the ending balance, what you have to do is just like sum every of it. How are you gonna sum each and every one of it? So if you want to sum like each and every one of it, just what you have to do is just sum the cash flow, and then the return, and then the end balance, what you have here. So the end balance, I'm not gonna do it, so I'm gonna type in equal, let's say this one first, plus, then select the return, plus end balance. Well, that's gonna do it. So the end balance for the second year is gonna be 200,000 and 200,000. Well, 2,100. Let's say just 200,000 and then 10,000 of dollars. Okay. So this is how you can find out the end balance, return, and all of the works. Okay, which you have right here. As I found all of them, now this is gonna be the end balance, this is the return, and this is gonna be how you can find out. Okay, so this is A4 and A2, which you find right here, which is F4 is this one, and A2 is the discount rate. So if I put in F5 A3, okay, this is just gonna be entered. Okay, I'm gonna do is make it a bit bigger. Well, it's not showing, but it's quite done, what you can see right over here. But this present value is a bit messed up. It should not be like this. It's gonna like reduce each after each year. Okay, because if you minus it by 3, 4, 5, 6 the years, okay, the value is obviously gonna get decreased. So this is how you can just find out what type, or how you can just find out the discount rates or calculate the discount rates. Okay, now what I'm gonna do here is find out the sum. So what I'm gonna do here is just select equal. Now equal, just sum them. Okay, how you're gonna sum them is just select all of it, which is right over here. So what I'm gonna do first is that select the total, and then after you select the total, and where can you find the total? So when you have the imbalance, or what you want to find out, let's say cash flow, or maybe let's say this one, let's do the end balance. Now we're gonna find out the like total, control, my bad, equals sum. It's gonna be the whole lot of it. Close the parentheses, hit enter. So this is the total. Okay, I'm gonna copy this and paste it to total here. It's not gonna be this one, but let's say sum all of the end balance. So that is going to be the total. And now how you're going to lump the sum, okay? How you're going to lump the sum is doing the same thing which we had right here. So I'm going to do is type in equal. So let's say we have to use this, okay, which I have right here is in G4. Well, that is the total. So we can also cut it, but what we have here is, okay, let's just delete it, as we already have the sum total here. So I'm going to type in equal and then select the total first, okay? So without the total you might not find anything, so I'm going to use the multiple and then multiple 1, okay, my bad, open parentheses, 1 plus, okay, and then the discount rate. So how you're going to do the discount rate is this here, 10%, and then after you select the 10%, what you have to do here is just close the parentheses and then hit enter. So this is going to be the lump sum which you had right here, and I'm going to do the same thing over here, and you might see one of them are value errors and all of them are not quite correct, but error in this value, show calculation steps, evaluate, restart. Okay, as it's not showing here, so what you have to do is just, if it doesn't show, just do the same thing over and over again, or do the macro, so it's going to save up a lot of time. Okay, so this is how you can calculate the discount rates in Microsoft Excel. Keep that in mind, that you need a chart, the discount rate, and later on just find out the total. And then if you want to lump the sums, just use this one which is right over here. First, what you have to do is select the total, then multiple by 1 plus the discount rate. So that is it, how you're going to lump up all of the sums and how you're going to end fix the end balance. To fix up the end balance, what you have to do first is C5, which I'm showing right here, is select the year of the cash flow, then the return of the year, return money, and then F4, which I have here, is the end balance. So for the first year, the end balance is obviously going to be the same, which I have right here, but the return is going to be this, okay? So this is how you can just calculate all of the discounting rates in Microsoft Excel. So as calculating discount rate is done, now what I'm going to show you is net present value. How you're going to find out the net present value? Well, it's all related to each other. So if you want to find out the net present value, so the formula is going to work like this, okay? Equal NPV, which you can see right here. Open tab, and it's going to show you what it wants. So it's going to show you that rate, then the values. So first off, select the rate, which is right over here, discount rate, and then comma, and then the value 1, value 2, value 3. So what you have to do is select the cash flow, okay, which I have right over here. What I'm going to do is start in from the second one, okay? So this is going to be my cash flow. Let's say we're going to do till 10. So as it is 10, what we're going to do is close the parentheses. Close the parentheses, and then what you're going to do is just add 1. So if you add 1, what you have to do next is the minus cash flow, which I don't have it right here. So I'm not going to do the minus cash flow, but I'm going to still just do with this one, which I have in the first year. So I'm going to do is select this one. So as it is done, now what I'm going to do is, why is it related, or why did I select this one? Because according to this whole data, I'm going to select this, okay? So I'm going to do is hit enter, and you can see that the net present value is 5,902. Okay, so this is how you can find out NPV, or net present value. So I'm going to do it twice. How you're going to do it? So what I'm going to do first is equal NPV, which is an actual formula, tab, and then select the rate, which I have right here, comma, and then the value. Okay, so the value is going to be, select the cash flow, or maybe let's start off this one, let's till 10, close close it. So how you're going to close it? Just close it however you want it to look like. So as I do it more like this, so I'm going to close the present, close the bracket or parentheses, and then add, okay, which one you have, which I have in the first year. So I'm going to select enter. So this is the net present value of the second year, and this is how you can find it. So this is how you can find the discounting rate, the calculating your discounting rate and calculating your net present value in Microsoft Excel. Hope you understood everything, and thank you for watching this video.